You got the gold to
Right, Scott,
go.
can you move your thing out of your face?
You are gold. Oh yeah, sorry.
Hi guys, welcome to the music B&B.
B&B.
Yeah, there we go. I'm Scott, and this is Ben.
Hi.
I mean, that's Ben.
And say hi, Callum.
Hi, Callum.
And Ben, you've got something for us. I think it's to do with like Warhammer.
This thing we're watching right now is to do with Warhammer, but this guy just does voice acting, and he does speeches, like iconic speeches, fictional speeches, I think is probably the best way to say it. I know it's a bit different than what we normally do, but for me, when I saw this, like the passion, even though it's just voice acting, the passion that you see on his face and his mannerisms and his acting, it's incredible, man. So,
you ever seen them when they're in the booth? They proper go for it when they're doing these voices of the characters.
well,
You know, when, like for movies and that, they proper go for it.
I found out, like when they do the behind the scenes stuff, they actually ask them to come back in just to film them doing the behind the scenes stuff because they don't actually film it when they do it. So they have one day where they come in and film them doing voice acting. Yeah, and it's just ruined it for me.
So this guy's called Christopher Tester. I think he does voice acting for games and stuff like that already. But anyway, should we have a go?
I'm the hand of Gork and Mork. They sent me to rouse up the boys, to crush and kill, cause the boys forgot what they're here for.
I don't think that's real.
Was one of them covered in the helmets we took from the dead uns.
Hi, Scott just left.
Hello?
Hey.
Voice, but he's also got other...
Oh yeah, no, he has. He has. I know what you mean. Yeah, he's edited,
So it's rubbish?
he's edited it. No, but it's not about...
It's not rubbish, it's good.
It's rubbish. He's just edited he's edited it all.
He's just got very, very good mic.
Yeah, but if you're listening to people do impressions of voices, you just want just pure like someone out of nowhere doing a Tom Hanks, and you're like, yeah, that sounds like Tom Hanks.
It's not
an
impression.
I put it through my computer and changed it.
Not an impression.
Well, yeah, it is an impression because it's not him. Therefore, it's
Or
an impression.
is he just being a character?
Yes. Yeah, he's been a character. Yeah.
It's an impression of a character. You're
Impression
right.
of someone who's already been that character before.
Well, this one's Khan from. He's been into loads of different Star Treks.
We were condemned as criminals, forced into exile. For centuries we slept, hoping when we awoke things would be different.
But like the
But
passion
as a
in his eyes.
result of the destruction of
No.
Vulcan, your
So in the movie,
Starfleet
this is
here
Benedict-
began to
Benedict
aggressively
Cumberbatch.
search.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, he sounds really good, but I agree with Scott. He sounds almost too good. It almost feels unbelievable. You know how like people do TikTok lip syncing to stuff?
Yeah.
Because it sounds that good quality. It almost looks like he's lip syncing to it when he
Well,
probably isn't. But it's
Should-
just done so cleanly and too overproduced that it's hard to like. If he just sat in front of the camera and just did that speech without any background, anything like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's pretty good impression.
These things are better when it's like a bad camera and it's just someone. There's one on YouTube that was like 60 impressions in a minute or something, and it was a guy doing it all, and it was amazing. Do you remember that from a few years ago?
Yeah.
It wasn't
No, I get
amazing
it.
quality. It wasn't edited. There was no sound or music involved.
I get it, but it's not an impression. It's his. It even says his version. It's his interpretation of the speech. It's not him pretending to be Benedict Cumberbatch. I think the first one, the Orc one.
Well, yeah, because it's from. It says from Star Trek Into the Darkness. Otherwise, he'd just say it's Khan from Star Trek.
Yeah, but it's the dialogue from that film.
Yeah, he's taking his speech from the film.
He's not
isn't it?
saying.
Therefore,
I'm
he's
copying-
taking his speech from that film, from that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not from the actor.
But
He's not- he's not
what I'm
doing
saying
that.
is,
He's not
what
doing
I'm saying
it.
is, it sounds so good that I could take that sound, feel myself doing a TikTok of it, and I'm just moving my mouth,
Yeah.
and it would look the same as him, and I think it is him, but it just feels way too.
I think the problem is that first one that we watched, there was a sync issue with the audio and him. And with this one,
Yeah,
it's-
it don't help.
no. So if you watch the first one, a bit of it, if you don't want to watch the full of it, but the bit of the first one again, it might be a bit understanding. Obviously, like I say, he has edited it. I think he posted a video where he's literally just changed the pitch.
Yeah.
But then
I
he's
wanna
not
see
actually
another
done it then, has he? He changed the pitch.
Well,
But he's still acting.
you try and do
hasn't
it.
he?
Voice.
I'm sure I could be a voice actor, but as long as they like my voice. Like,
You try
I
and
don't
be a
think
Smurf without pitch correction, pitch shift.
Smurfs don't have changed voices, do they?
That's funny.
I don't think I'm the target audience for this.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's just go for
I'm
the
saying
first
I'm
one.
enjoying it. I want to see 1 or 2 more just so I can get a feel for. I want to know characters that I know.
We'll see. Here we go. You're on
Who
Greyjoy.
knows more of gods than I? The horse gods? The fire gods?
I think
be
he's
honest.
recorded these and then done the things afterwards, which makes it look less.
I'm
believable. I
feeling
don't know.
that. I think he's agree with Scott. He's recorded that, just an audio recording, and he's filming himself because like that Post Malone video where he's like out there and you're like, oh, you can't hear it. Like he's back here. I am radio, and the distance is so different.
There's a slight echo to it.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
hear
know,
the
man.
room. And he's not in like a padded room where there's no echo.
I think he.
He's got
It's
curtain
a
next
room
to
with
the window.
curtain.
Yeah.
bedroom, something. Yeah.
I think he also says
Study.
he has got a
Tiny bit.
soundproofing.
Yeah, or a soundproof area where he records the main vocals.
But I don't know
perhaps.
because there is another video.
Find another one.
Response to the question of how I do the Thraka voice, first of all, I'll just share a little excerpt of what it's like without the effect.
I'm the prophet of the Wa,
Yeah, shit.
and whole worlds burn in my boots.
It's me doing it.
And then what I do is that I go into Final Cut and I go to the pitch, and pitch is measured in cents. And what I do is that I take that down kind of gradually. So if we take it down by 72 cents, for example, it sounds a bit like this.
I'm the prophet of the Wa.
And then the actual setting that I used for this video was about minus 264 cents. So that's the only effect that I've used, and it sounds like this.
I'm the prophet of the Wa.
Along with background music.
Along with background music. Yeah,
Burn
it's
in
good.
my blueprints.
It's clever.
Now, I
It's
myself
done well.
used a variation
At
of
least
this
he's
in a couple of
honest
videos.
and he's saying this is how I did it, and he's given some reason. He hasn't just turned up and suddenly. I mean, he's got quite a low voice as a person himself, but
He's got-
no one's voice is most people's voices are not that low. So
I
he's
believe
good that he's done that.
It's also the kind of approach that is sometimes used for when I've played characters like Lockyer Fellhart, although that also had reverb because of the mask, and also when I've played as orcs and as Nurgle in Total War. Obviously, what they use as developers is much more complex than that, but that would be my kind of like first step into not overcomplicating it in order to get those kind of results. I have huge respect for those people who are actually able to do a orc voice without any of those kind of effects. For me personally, because you're going into a 3 or 4 hour recording, it needs to still be sustainable in some way. So obviously you're doing the accent, obviously you're still doing all of the acting that actually kind of sells the performance as well. But if you make it too low and raspy all of the time, it becomes something else entirely. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it would hurt his voice. So yeah, he's good. He's good. He's got a good voice. I think it's too overproduced, and I kind of want to see just like a lion on the couch to go, that kind of attitude. I think if we'd approached it that way, I would have been a bit more like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Music in the background. I say, like you say, I think we should be looking at from he's doing like cool speeches.
He's doing a
And
performance.
like editing them. He's doing a performance. Whereas I've come in looking at it as that he's like doing a decent voice, but like he is
It's
doing
not
a
an
decent voice, but it's
impression.
too edited.
It's not an impression.
It's an impression.
though.
It's an impression of that character. Yes.
It's not an impression. It's an interpretation, isn't it?
It's a bit
Which is
both,
an
isn't it?
impression.
No, it's
No.
different.
Yes, no, it is. No.
Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. Do you know where else you can find impressions?
On the internet, probably.
The internet, not on the Music B&B other than this video, but there might be more. We never know.
Not at this rate.
Bye.
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 Bye, ladies and gentlemen.